overall court to me is Drake House.
Yeah.
Drake House is pretty cool, bro. Like it's like
Yeah,
I can't even explain it.
You
It's
can
like
practice in the gym.
A 50,000 square foot mansion, a basketball court built to NBA specs, a chandelier with over 20,000 crystals hanging above a piano that cost more than most houses. This isn't a hotel, and it isn't a museum. It's where one man actually sleeps at night. Today, we're stepping inside the Canadian home of one of the biggest artists on the planet, Drake.
Oh my god, it's so
50,000 square feet. That is entirely too big.
And by the end of this video, you'll understand why people call it less of a house and more of a monument. Early life, fast. Before the gates and the gold detailing, there was a much smaller story. Aubrey Drake Graham was born in Toronto in October 1986. Raised between his mother's home in the city's Forest Hill area and visits to his father's family in Memphis. Money was tight growing up. His mother worked multiple jobs to keep things together after his parents separated, and by his own account, there were stretches where the family genuinely struggled to make rent. None of that screamed future owner of a $100 million estate. Long before he was selling out arenas, Drake was a teenage actor on the Canadian teen drama Degrassi, The Next Generation, playing a high school basketball star named Jimmy Brooks. It's a small detail that matters later because basketball never really left him. It followed him all the way into the blueprint of his future home. The turn? He left acting behind to chase music, grinding out mixtapes online that built a cult following years before streaming made that path normal. His breakout album, Thank Me Later, landed in 2010 and turned him into a global star almost overnight, and the hits that followed over the next decade built one of the largest fortunes in music history. But unlike a lot of artists who plant their flag in Los Angeles or New York, the moment the money arrives, Drake made a different decision. He stayed loyal to the city that raised him and decided that if he was ever going to build a legacy home, it was going home to Toronto, buying the land. In 2015, Drake purchased a plot of land in Bridle Path, a Toronto neighborhood so exclusive, it's nicknamed Millionaire's Row.
Well, we are in Toronto, Canada, at my house, which is a nice thing to say because it's been a few years in the making. I just moved in about like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Wide lots, total privacy, and some of the highest property values in the country, this is where Toronto's old money and new money quietly live side by side. Most people in that neighborhood inherit their homes. Drake decided to build one from nothing. Meet the architect. He brought in Ferris Rafali, a Canadian designer known for blending old-world European craftsmanship with bold modern statements. The brief, by all accounts, was simple. Don't build a house, build a landmark. Drake has reportedly compared the finished result to his own version of the Taj Mahal, which tells you everything about the scale he was aiming for. The numbers. The finished property is reported at roughly 50,000 square feet, sitting on about 2 acres of land, with a price tag that's been estimated at around $100 million.
Little kid was like, I'm gonna build the craziest house ever once I have $1 billion, and then he became Drake and he built it.
Once construction, materials, and design are all factored in. For comparison, that's nearly the size of a small shopping mall built for one person to live in. The name and the face of it, the home is known simply as the Embassy. The name fits. An embassy represents something bigger than the building itself, and that's exactly the idea here. From the outside, the mansion is wrapped in limestone, bronze, and glass, with a strict black and gold color scheme that gives it an almost royal presence. There's no mistaking which house on the street is his. Stepping inside, the entrance. Walk through the front doors and you're greeted by limestone floors inlaid with dark Nero Marquina marble, soaring ceilings, and a hallway that feels more like a 5-star hotel lobby than a front hall. Every surface was custom. Nothing in this house was bought off a showroom floor. The grand room. At the heart of the home sits a great room with a ceiling reportedly stretching 44 feet high. Centerpiece of the room, a one-of-a-kind concert grand piano, designed in collaboration with Japanese artist Takashi Murakami, covered in his signature skull motifs. Above it hangs a chandelier built from more than 20,000 hand-cut crystals, a design originally created for an opera house. The basketball court. Remember that teenage role playing a basketball star on Degrassi? It comes full circle here. The mansion includes a regulation NBA-sized indoor basketball court, complete with a domed glass ceiling and his own OVO logo painted center court. It's reportedly one of his favorite spaces in the entire house. Proof that some childhood obsessions never really go away. They just get a bigger budget. The master suite. The primary bedroom suite alone is estimated at over 3,000 square feet, bigger than most family homes, and includes a 2-story walk-in closet, a private bar stocked for whiskey and champagne, and a bathtub carved from a single 4,000-pound block of black marble. It's not a bathroom, it's a sculpture you happen to bathe in.
But like, it just literally seems like a clash of way too many ideas. Like, he saw a vision board and he said, let's do every single thing on.
The studio and the trophy hall. Tucked inside the home is a professional recording studio, so inspiration never has to wait for a flight or a booking. There's also a dedicated hall celebrating his music career, alongside a separate space showcasing memorabilia from his favorite basketball teams and players. Two of his biggest passions, music and basketball, both built directly into the architecture of where he lives. Security and privacy. A home this famous needs more than nice furniture. Gated perimeters, round-the-clock surveillance, and a layout designed to keep the property shielded from the street all come standard. For someone whose face is recognized almost everywhere on Earth, this house isn't just a flex. It's one of the few places he can actually disappear. Life beyond Toronto. The embassy isn't the only address tied to his name. He's also held property south of the border in Texas, and earlier in his career owned several homes around Los Angeles, including one famous moment where he reportedly paid a neighbor over $2 million just to buy their house after noise complaints about his parties. But ask anyone close to him, and they'll tell you the same thing. Toronto is the one that means something. Everything else is real estate. The embassy is home. The details. Money can't buy. Luxury isn't just measured in square footage here, it's hidden in the details most people never notice. Custom furniture, lighting fixtures, and even the wood paneling were crafted specifically for this home. Rare stones and exotic materials were sourced from around the world, with master artisans spending months perfecting a single room. It's the kind of place where almost nothing can simply be replaced, because nearly everything exists as a one-of-one piece, designed exclusively for Drake's vision. The bigger picture. What makes this story interesting isn't just the size of the house or the price of the piano, it's the decision behind it. A global superstar who could have built anywhere on the planet, Beverly Hills, Manhattan, the south of France, chose to plant his biggest, boldest statement in the same city he grew up watching from the outside. Never sure he'd ever fit in.
Like, this house, for example, I manifested this.
There's something almost defiant about it. Plenty of artists leave their hometown the second they can afford to, treating success as an exit. Drake treated it as the opposite, a reason to come back and build louder than anyone who doubted him ever could have imagined. The embassy isn't just where Drake lives, it's the loudest possible way of saying he made it, and he made it without leaving home. So, next time you hear someone call Toronto just a hockey town or a backdrop for movies pretending to be New York, remember, somewhere in Bridle Path, there's a 50,000 square foot answer to that. If you enjoyed this look inside one of Canada's most famous homes, hit subscribe for more deep dives into the lives and legacies of the world's biggest stars, and let us know in the comments which celebrity home we should break down next.